So, yeah, this is the Dead Cells discussion. The information for that is the initial release date is May 10th, 2017. Is that right? I thought it
Uh,
came out,
I
later than
thought
that.
it. Yeah, I thought it just
Maybe
released.
that's the early access.
It's probably
When
early
the early
access.
access game came out.
Yeah, 'cause
no
it came
idea.
out August 6th, 2018.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it came out relatively recently. In addition to that, developed and published by Motion Twin, costs $25 or your regional equivalent. Platforms: PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, Microsoft Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. And Dead Cells is a road. No, it's not a road. It's a roguelike. No, it's a roguelite Metroidvania inspired action platformer. You'll explore a sprawling, ever-changing castle, assuming you're able to fight your way past its keepers in 2D Souls-like combat. No checkpoints. Kill, die, learn, repeat. All right. Yeah. So, what do you guys think of this?
So I pretty much fell in love with this game immediately. From the start, it just gave a good impression for me, and everything felt smooth, and like I understood everything as I was going through the game, and it was also like super convenient for me because I just like after work come home and then I just play one round of Dead Cells because you could do a run in like 30 minutes and get pretty far and like progress a lot. And then once you die, just like, oh, all right, just move on with the rest of the day and then just do it again the next day. So, yeah.
Yeah. I felt very similarly about this. Like, I really like roguelike or roguelite games like this, and I think it does a very good job of like having that rogue-like gameplay of like see how far you can get. And but I think the thing I really liked about this one is you always felt like you were progressing. Like you would always get like new blueprints or new abilities or new unlocks and stuff like that. So I thought the progression system was really satisfying. And yeah, I really liked this game.
Yeah, I really liked it too. I didn't play it as much as I would have liked. I played it actually a lot more in early access than I did after its full release. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's definitely hard because if you mess up,
Yes,
very
very much so.
punishing.
I've been playing a lot of the New Game Plus, and it's like if you mess up once, you die. It's over. And
Like it's one hit kill.
not necessarily. Like if you there are some guys that if you get stun locked by them, it basically is
Okay.
you're dead. But I mean, even in New Game Plus, you can still take like depending on how much health you have, depending on what items you have, you can still take like a good number of hits. Gosh, what else was I gonna say? I was gonna ask how far both of you ended up getting. Nick, did you end up beating it?
I created like 2 saves for this game. My first one when I first just played it blind through and like unlocked a shitload of stuff. And with that one, I got as far as High Peak Castle. But every time I'm there, like it's eventually I just mess up and die. But then I restarted the game and was more calculated in the shit that I bought. And in a really fast time, I actually ended up fighting the boss in the throne room, but didn't get close to beating him.
Yeah, he is a piece of shit. I don't know if they actually like rebalanced thing to make him like more resistant to like turrets and stuff. I don't know, but yeah, he's tough.
Yeah, he
And
could have something like reduce projectiles by a certain percentage or something similar like the necklace that you get.
yeah, yeah. That boss is annoying because it's like the most like dodging necessary boss, and it takes so long to fight him that you can't like really play against him a bunch to like learn his moveset really good. like Hollow Knight or Dark Souls.
Yeah.
But
How far have you gotten, Noah?
So when I played early access, I still didn't get super far. I got to like I beat the guy on the bridge.
Okay, Black Bridge. Yeah.
I forget how far I got after that, but I didn't get super far. And then on this full release run through, I didn't even get that far.
Shit, I don't know.
yeah, we didn't really plan out what we were going to talk about. What
Exactly.
What aspect do we want to talk about first? Do we want to talk about like the gameplay or?
So yeah, let's talk about how like the level in game is structured. It's basically the gist of the game is that you start from square one from like one point, and you just have to run and find the next area level, and from there it's always like randomized between each map, and has enemies, and you go through it collecting cells and money and all that, and collecting new gear to constantly go through the game. And throughout the game, there's also like bosses that you have to fight, and basically the main objective is get to the last boss in the game and kill him.
Yep. So there's a whole bunch of stages. I've got the stage list open on their wiki, and there's on each level is like randomized, but the levels are always going to be the same. They're always going to have the same number of level ups. Level ups are just scrolls that you can put into one of three kind of subclass things that the more you get, the more damage you do with that type of weapon. There's red weapons, purple weapons, green weapons, and you have 2 usable items. And basically, yeah, it's get as far as you can get. There are bosses that you have to fight. The first boss that you fight is like you fight one of 2 guys. The second boss you fight is always the same guy, and the last boss you fight is always the same guy. But beyond that, you can kind of choose what stages you go to, because different stages contain different guys. There are extra stages that you can go to in order to get more levels, which will make you stronger and better able to beat the bosses and stuff, and get money and get upgrades and stuff. But I really liked this game because it was definitely the kind of thing where you just keep running it and you keep like learning the levels and upgrading your stuff. In a lot of ways, like Hollow Knight, you unlock like movement abilities for your character. Like you can get like wall jumping, and you get this thing that allows you to like activate these vine spots, and all of these abilities allow you to get to new areas, which opens up the levels more and basically just makes your character better and stuff. And I really liked that.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too, especially in this type of game where it's once you die, you have to restart the whole thing over.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels really good. Like once you get that ability, you like, oh, is there a different pathway I can go on this level? And once you go there, there's like sometimes new enemies that you have to fight and adapt to fighting them. And then you also find like new scrolls and new blueprints for stuff, and even more abilities, and it just keeps opening up that map, but still being that sort of tiered list. Once you get to the last boss, you go through like 10 levels or so, but in the first like 5 levels or so, there's like 2 or 3 different branches that you can go, and just really freshens up the game, I think, through that.
Yeah.
Noah hasn't even unlocked. Did you even get to the?
No, I haven't unlocked. Yes, I think so. I didn't really go through them much because I was trying to go like the other way more most of the time.
Okay. Yeah, I actually at one point I had trouble progressing through the game. I think, let's see, I got on the rune vine, and then I kept on trying to just go through. Was it Promenade of the Condemned? Yeah. I kept on taking that path towards like trying to get to the end goal instead of going to the toxic sewers, because I'm just like, I don't like the design of this place. and didn't like the people that I have to fight there. So I like ignored it for the longest time, not knowing that there were any pathways that way and like more upgrades and shit. So it was really dumb. Because I think the one time I took it, I only saw ramparts, and I didn't see that you can break through a place and go to the ancient sewers from the toxic sewers. So I thought it was just like one little detour path. So yeah, for a long time, for I'd say like, I don't know, 4 hours or so, I haven't taken that way.
Yeah, I've definitely like I've been playing a lot of the new game plus. The new game plus is pretty interesting. We'll probably talk about. Well, I'll talk about it a bit. It's like basically if you beat the final boss, you get a boss soul, and you can put that in the like kind of generator thing that's like right next to your spawn point, and it makes the game harder. It makes you get double the cells, and I would assume it gets you more money and stuff, but it also makes the game quite a bit harder. You get half as many Estus flask refills, basically. That's what it is. It's the health flask. You only get it every other level, and you also fight a lot, like guys that are a lot harder right away. Like in the first level, you'll be against those like wizard guys that can shoot bolts through floors.
Oh wow, fuck that.
Super annoying. I hate them. They're the worst when you've got like the curse on you where you die in one hit, and you're like, oh my god, they're gonna hit me! Stop! No.
Yeah. So good thing that you're on New Game Plus, because people are thinking like, who knows how long this game is? Like, you can beat it within a couple hours, because like, the cool thing about this game is like it's really hard, but it's also really easy to progress through the levels.
Yeah, you can
reach the end boss in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, if you're very good. I personally had to like upgrade my health flask to like level 4 and get like a bunch of upgrades before I was actually able to do that.
Yeah.
Just
but
because...
I'm not saying like in terms of progression of that. I'm just saying like the whole journey isn't 3 hours long that you have to go through without dying.
Yeah, that's the nice thing. Yeah,
it's actually a really short, compact, like one quick run through could be anywhere from 15 minutes to half an hour or something like that.
Yeah, or if you suck, it could be 5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, and one thing to encourage that is the time doors, which is a really cool mechanic.
Yeah, I really like
reward
those.
system that they put in the game. Like each level, if you get there within a certain time, like 2 minutes, 8 minutes or something, you get like an extra scroll, you get a bunch of money, and then
and a bunch of cells.
Yeah, a bunch of cells, and also a blueprint if you visit there for the first time. I think, yeah. And like, yeah, that encourages you to go fast, which is really cool. I watched some speedrunners. Have you guys tried watching them?
I don't think I've watched any speedrunners. I've watched like a few people just for like, oh, what's like a really good build, or what are some good routes through this, but I don't think I've watched any speedrunners.
Yeah, I saw one dude like got a crazy combination of stuff and just was blown through all the levels, and I think he like reached the end boss and killed it in like 8 minutes or something. And he was going so fast that he was even able to like pick up upgrades for himself, which I think is like the thing that slowed me down a lot, because I was just taking my time, not getting hit, and trying to find those upgrades because they could be anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, the upgrades like increasing your the green, purple, or red.
Yeah.
Red. Yeah.
Speaking of which, of those, did you guys like gravitate towards one certain color at all?
Yeah.
I generally went red mostly.
I went purple.
Yeah. Purple every day.
Yeah, because like all the traps were purple, which is good for that. And I thought grenades were like fucking trash.
I don't know. I've tried doing like grenade builds, and they just I was never able to get past the concierge. Like purple has just always been the
trap is so easy to just press the button and just try to focus on dodging out of the way or something.
Yeah, or drop your traps and like hang back and like use archery or something. Like that's how I beat the final boss on my first playthrough. Is I had the bow that you like mark a target with and they take a bunch of extra damage, so I would do that and I would drop my traps and I would just dodge while my traps like chipped away at his health.
Yeah, slowly melt away.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing pretty much every run. I do sometimes like doing like shield runs because shields are also very nice to have. Like
I don't like the shields.
I do. I think that's how I first beat the Clockmaster, because I would just keep like either countering him when he like tries to grab you, or if he is able to grab you, you're just able to block him before he's able to do like that massive like damage attack. But I think the traps and their perks are you're just able to do a lot more consistent damage, and you're able to be a lot more safe with it than if you do like red or green.
Yeah,
I mean, you get a lot more health if you do red and green, but by the end of the game, it's like, meh.
Yeah.
And it's so much damage that it's like, it doesn't really even matter.
What were you using, Noah? I guess you didn't really get to unlock a whole lot of weapons, so.
I really liked the what were they, like the twin blades?
Mm-hmm. Twin daggers.
Yeah, I always try to get those if I see those.
Yeah, those were pretty good at the start. Also, the assassin dagger.
I never got that far.
Inflicts a. It's a pretty early game. I think you just have to explore a bit to find it. Inflicts like a critical hit when you hit him from the back.
Mm.
That was one of my favorite melee weapons. I'd say my favorite weapon in the game is like the heavy bow, the marksman bow. I think inflicts critical damage if you're far away.
Yeah.
And it already does like a lot of damage, and then when it crits, it's even more. I this one run through, I managed to get a colorless one, and it had all crazy stats on it. And then I think the crit was around 6,000.
Holy
damage.
shit.
Yeah, but crit, like, it's sort of random, and every guy I was hitting was between 6,000 to 10,000 damage, and I was like one-shotting the mini bosses during my run.
Damn.
Yeah, and I think I fought the Clockmaster with it too, and I shot him in like a few shots and took him down. He's the second boss. That was my favorite thing to use. What about you, Zach? I also liked the heavy crossbow. That was a good one.
I had a bow that was like a machine gun. That one was fun.
Oh,
I got really into using ice, because ice is just
it's so good. Yeah,
I'd
I'd say it's necessary.
Yeah, I think they
So flexible.
they probably actually changed it for bosses, because if you use it too much against bosses, they start like resisting it, so you can't just, obviously you shouldn't just be able to stun lock them with it. But
is it?
pretty much everything else in the game you can just about stun lock it with, which is really good against the elites, and it's always super good because it always freezes. So even if you just have like a level 1, it still will like freeze just about everything. It just won't do that much damage. So if you're using your like turrets and stuff, you can kind of just stun lock everything while your turrets kill it.
Yeah, I'd say like the freeze is so good towards like the later levels, getting towards the last boss, like the clock tower and the high peak castle. So good to use it in there because there's so many fucking enemies around, and their reach is ridiculous.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I liked using bows the most. I thought long range was like the way to go. A lot safer.
Yeah, both I liked.
Yeah, I would
That's
definitely like I can pretty like on the new game plus I can pretty consistently get to either High Peak Castle or the final boss, and it was always like the same build. It was just about 18 to 20 levels in the purple, and like 5 or 6 levels and like red and green to get your health up.
Yeah.
And then you would always get the perk that gets your skills back quicker. You'd get the one where you do more damage when you're next to your turrets, and you'd get the one where if you're not next to an enemy, you do more damage, and it just melts everything. And I don't know. I think the downside to the new game plus is like I've gotten pretty much all the upgrades. I'm still like kind of chipping away at like the forge. The forge is basically something you can upgrade with like lots of cells.
Oh yeah, I tried dumping
to
some there.
so that you get more drops that are plus or plus level, because you've got different levels of items, but you can also upgrade them further, which adds a plus onto them. You can upgrade them to plus, double plus, or no, there's no triple plus. I don't think there's a triple plus. I think there's an S rank. There might be a triple plus. I can't remember, but I think that's nice. It adds like another layer of complexity. I do have a question. Did you guys like use the weapon? Well, did you like using weapons like with the perk like this weapon does double damage, but you take double damage, or this weapon gives you plus 1% health back for every hit, but you also take double damage?
Yeah. I thought it was never worth it.
Yeah, I would always just respec it until I didn't get those perks, because I didn't like them at all, because you would just die too quickly.
Yeah, your health is already so limited, so like healing wise. So like to do that extra damage or to heal up that little bit just for that chance of just being hit even more, like take more even damage, like just no.
Yeah,
And that's sort of similar to the other mechanic they have, the cursed chest.
yeah. There are.
Where they give you an item, money, and then a scroll to up your ability. Like you have to kill 10 guys and not get hit once, and then the curse will be lifted. And basically the curse is if you get hit once, you die automatically. And just never worth it.
I definitely try to get those, like, since I've been playing the game a ton. I try to get those as often as I think I can get away with getting them. Like, I generally, if I'm in the Forgotten Sepulchre, I probably won't get them just because the Forgotten I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that
I know
right, but yeah, it's pretty much an area where it's like the gimmick for that area is that it's dark, and there are these lamps scattered throughout it, and if you are not next to a lantern, it will get darker and darker, and eventually you'll start taking damage. And so that's why I'll almost never get a cursed chest, because if you like take too long, then you'll just take like a little bit of damage and you'll get killed immediately.
I never took damage in that place because I just assumed it was automatic death if it just went completely black or something.
It's not automatic. It goes down kind of slowly, but if you're not next to one, it gets kind of hard to see. So I'm not sure if your mini map disappears or something, but you need to get next to one pretty quickly.
Yeah,
and I generally don't grab the item at the beginning that lets you set lamps, because I like having my abilities. It's kind of interesting because each area does have its own like kind of gimmicks. I also like originally I really hated this area because it had those guys that were really fucking difficult to fight.
Which area?
Slumbering Sanctuary, because it's got those like big robot guys that like punch you and slam the ground, and if you get too far away from them, they just teleport you back to them. So unless you have like
I only got there once before.
Yeah, they're just, unless you're able to like stun lock them pretty good, or you're very good at dodging, they can kill you extremely quickly. But I like the gimmick for that area. Basically, the gimmick for that area Don't want to spoil a ton.
Just go for it.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. Pretty much the gimmick for that area is like everything. The area is kind of asleep. There are enemies around, but there are a lot of like stone enemies, and there are a bunch of doors that are closed. So there's really just one way to go, and there's a button that you press, and then right after that button, there's a portal, and it teleports you back to the beginning of the level, and you go through the whole level again, but everything like wakes up, and the music changes, and it gets really bright, and all these stone enemies start waking up, and that includes, I think that's the first place you see these guys. They're these really big robot-looking guys that will kill you extremely fast, and unlike most enemies, they are actually able to teleport you back to them, so you can't just like run away from them. You kind of have to sit there and fight them.
They'll pummel the shit out of you.
Yeah, they're tough, but I do actually prefer going there over the Silt Village now, kind of.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, I don't really know why. I don't know why. I just kind of prefer it now that I know how to like deal everything.
What's
deal
the
with
graveyard like? I haven't been there yet. That's like the last place I haven't been to.
God, I actually cannot remember at all about the graveyard. I know that I've been there at least once, but I like never go through the Insufferable Crypt because I hate that boss fight so much.
Yeah.
I hate it because it is.
Yeah, no, so the one
You
like,
can't
one of the first
use
bosses-
turrets against it very effectively, so that's like my only strategy. So unless you go like a melee build or you're just very careful about where you put your turrets, it's just a very annoying, difficult boss fight. So I can't remember actually anything about the graveyard. I might actually go back and try to get there again because I just cannot remember anything about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, there's another boss instead of the Black Bridge. And that dude, there's another first boss that you can fight. And
Yeah, it's like
this
named
like demon,
conjunctivitis or something, yeah.
yeah, this demon flesh thing with a giant eye that's chained up, and it like is in this giant room and it moves all over, and then there's platforms, 4 different platforms that you can jump up. But if you stay on them for too long, it like drops underneath you. So it's like that's why he's saying like it's super hard to set traps there because the only place you can set them is on the ground, and the boss is mostly in the air.
Yeah, and every like time you get him down to a certain amount of health, everything will drop. He'll get a shield, and he'll also like start attacking you with tentacles, and those are just
Oh my god.
kind of annoying. But yeah, the Black Bridge guy is just so much easier comparatively.
So much.
Like
those tentacles fuck me
yeah,
up.
he's a super annoying boss.
The
Plus,
tentacle parts is like there's a bunch that you can see like them going underneath the ground, and then when it's underneath you and about to like come up, there's a couple that do that, and then there's another one that goes way to the side and then is popped above ground and waves like comes right by at like really fast speed. It's just a bunch of different attacks coming at once. It's dumb.
is he an annoying boss? But you also have to go through several annoying zones to get to him. You have to go through the toxic sewer and the ancient sewer, at least before you get like 3 boss souls. And I only have 1 by now. But yeah, so yeah, they're just, I don't know. I don't know why I find toxic sewer and ancient sewer very annoying because like, yeah, their guys are annoying, but Promenade of the Condemned has those guys that will teleport after you, and those guys are pretty annoying, but I don't know why I think that I find those zones annoying because they've got like the goo everywhere that hurts you if you stand in it.
Yeah. I just like the art design more as well in the other area. They're just a lot prettier to look at in the background as you run by.
Yeah. I really like the art in this game, and I think it also has a lot of really good soundtracks. Like each zone has their own soundtrack. There's a soundtrack that'll play if you get to a merchant, and yeah, it's all very good. I like the whole aesthetic of the game. It's basically it's very similar to Dark Souls. There are so many similarities,
Yeah.
like from the Estus flask to
Well, have you been to the bonfire?
yeah, I found that a number of times.
There's a little secret area, Noah, that just randomly appears throughout your run. And what else is there? There's a bonfire, like clearly a Dark Souls bonfire that you see.
Nice. I
Yeah.
found like an insect room, and there's like a picture of Hollow Knight in that room.
Really?
Nice.
Mhm.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so they definitely took inspiration from those games, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah. You also collect things called souls.
Yeah. Whole concept is about dying.
Yeah, the kind of backstory is that you're a piece of goo that has inhabited this body, and you basically got to go from like the dungeon to like up into the castle and fight this king, and it's this whole cycle. And there's a bunch of flavor text and stuff that kind of gives a little bit more backstory, but there isn't like a very in-your-face story. So I guess that's kind of Dark Soulsy.
Yeah. Oh, remember the beginning when like that lady knight helps you? She's now the corpse right before.
Yeah, that did happen.
Yeah. Like to indicate that you just keep on being reborn, and time has been like passed for like eons, probably, just like Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Beyond that, the story was not. Yeah, the story was not super in your face. I do kind of wish they had like scattered. Like the progression system feels really good, probably up until you beat the game the first time, and then the second time, you feel like you're still getting some stuff, like you're upgrading like the forge and stuff, and there's still probably some items that you can get. Like you've got the hunter's grenade, so there are still like a few types of enemies that I need to hunt down and use like the hunter's grenade against to like get all of their blueprints and stuff. So there's still stuff to do, but it just feels like there's a lot less stuff to do. So maybe if there
starts
was,
to feel more of a grind.
yeah, a little bit. And like it's still a fun game. Like I've been playing it a ton, trying to finish that before this discussion, but I cannot beat the final boss. I fought him like 3 or 4 times, and it's just.
Well, you beat him on the normal difficulty.
Yeah, I did, but I haven't beat him on New Game Plus.
Um,
I'm assuming it's not going to be that different.
I do want to say, in light of all this praising and whatnot, one thing I didn't like about the game was all the different items that they have in the game. Like, it makes it seem really fun and like, oh, there's so much shit in here. But I wish there was a way that I could try out the item before I fully invest pouring the souls to unlocking it.
Yeah.
Because in my first playthrough, I didn't know anything what I was doing, and I like bought some really stupid gear like the Spartan sandals. Like tried those, and I'm just like, I hate.
Oh
this.
yeah.
And some other.
I just
weapons.
like just reading them, and I was like, those don't sound very appealing.
Well, I there's ones that I read, and I'm like, oh, that sounds really cool. But then I try it out, and it just feels so lackluster and not 100% what I was expecting from the text.
Yeah.
And then since like I invested into that and it's unlocked, now it's up in my inventory of like random drops I could get, which clutters stuff that I do like, which is like part of the reason I made a new game.
Yeah, that definitely is one of the strategies that I looked up. It's like just unlock like the really good items that you want to use in order to have the best possible drops
every time.
Yeah, I think if I was starting like a new game, I might do that, but I don't know. I've been fine on the one that I have right now, where I've just kind of unlocked everything, because it adds a lot more variety to the game, and it encourages you to like use different things to get like a little bit better with them. Like, yeah, I don't really use the Spartan sandals, but
yeah, if you do like replay it, you'll actually find that you'll catch up really fast. Like, in just like when I told you that I was thinking about doing a new game. That's pretty much like when I did it, and within 2 hours, I think, is when I like actually reached the end boss for the first time.
Yeah, I think if you like, a huge part of this game is just kind of learning the levels and learning how to fight the different bosses. And I think even on one like usage of the thing, I think I could get pretty far and progress pretty quickly if I started a new game. So that's kind of the nice thing. It's kind of another thing like Dark Souls. You get very like, the game encourages you to get better, and it's a game that controls really well. So it's a game that is like not impossible to like get good at.
Yeah, I think on just one healing flask or whatever thing, one healing potion, I got all the way to like the clock room or something and fought that boss.
Mm-hmm.
And then unlocked like a bunch more shit for it immediately. But yeah, definitely like knowing beforehand helps.
Yeah, definitely.
One other thing I want to praise is like the combat. It's very fluid and responds to a button press. Like it doesn't queue up like you're swinging a sword and then you want to set out your traps or your turrets. Like as soon as you press the button, it happens.
Yeah,
Like that.
and it's really generous with the iframes. If you dodge, you will more than likely dodge their attacks. Like if you know how to dodge, like I've gotten so good at the concierge that I can like time his jumps and stuff, and you just dodge right through them. And I haven't gotten that good at like the Clockmaster and the final boss, but
Yeah.
if
Clockmaster, I just tank.
yeah, I generally like try to stun lock him or just try to like dodge out of the way of his attacks while my turrets just go to work on him.
Yeah,
But-
I just try to out DPS him.
Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely a fun game. Definitely worth trying if you like Metroidvania. That's kind of why I wish Mitch had played this one, but he's just way too busy right now because he likes Metroidvania games. But it's definitely a game that combines that kind of Metroidvania with roguelike stuff, and yeah, it's definitely a good game. This one was kickstarted, right?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I'm
I wouldn't
pretty
be
sure.
surprised if it was.
I'll look it up real quick.
I definitely say it's a game that's really easy to just pick up and play and stop whenever. Because like you can just stop and quit out wherever you are in the game. You don't have to like reach a checkpoint or anything.
Yeah, definitely. Like
and
if
the
you've
runs are
got
fast.
if you got like 15, 20 minutes, like even then you can
almost do a full run.
or you can just quit out of the game and it'll be right where you left it when you come back. Like it's very good about that.
Yeah, I like games that are like that. Start reaching a checkpoint,
Mm-hmm.
especially ones who have like super long checkpoints. Like, oh, if you won't find one for another hour, you're locked into this. But yeah, I wish I bought this game on the Switch. Actually, when I realized how
Yeah, I
easy
feel like
it
it'd
was
be
to
a good
play.
game on Switch.
Yeah, the only reason I didn't because it was on sale on Steam. Otherwise, it would have been perfect for like mobile Switch, like when I'm at work and on lunch break.
Yeah.
An easy run. I don't have much else to say, anyways.
Yeah, I
You have
don't really
anything
either.
else,
I didn't get as much playtime.
Yeah.
I don't actually know if it was kickstarted. It says it's been in development since 2001, which super fucking long.
2001? What?
Yeah, 2001, and it was originally for browser and mobile gaming, and it was like there's the development section for this game is like really extensive, actually.
Oh, browser and mobile? Yeah, from 2001.
Yeah, and it's like damn.
I guess it's a project like dude worked on like a couple times a year. And finally got enough progress where he's
Yeah,
like,
that's-
alright,
that's
time to
actually,
finish
like-
it.
Yeah, and eventually they got it into Steam Early Access, and that's kind of where it took off, and then they
Yeah.
finally finished it. Now it's here. Definitely a good game. I feel like we're just...
Dragging it now.
I wasn't going to say that. I mean, You said it, not me. It's kind of true, but I was gonna say I think we're just living in the age of indie games, and it is great. I mean, there are good AAA games, but it feels like there's a lot of garbage going on with AAA games right now as well.
Yeah.
Like it feels like multiplayer games have kind of gone to shit recently, and the only AAA games that are worth playing are like single player games or single player games that have very limited multiplayer, or indie games.
Yeah.
Indie games are on fire right now.
Yeah. Well, it's Sony crushing it with their exclusives.
Yep.
Yeah, and that sucks for me because I have a fucking Xbox. I want to play the Spider-Man game so fucking bad.
I need to get Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 2 was like my favorite game of all time. Well, okay, one of my favorite games of all time. And this game just, I saw so much good stuff about it. Like, if you liked this game, you're gonna like this game. And I'm like, damn it, Sony, why do you have to have all the good games?
That's why I picked PS4.
Yeah, I didn't know that Microsoft was gonna drop the ball so fucking hard with this.
Yeah. Hopefully the next consoles will be better.
I don't even know if I'm gonna buy the next console. I'm probably just gonna stick with PC Master Race.
Yeah,
Fuck the consoles.
Yeah. I'll probably stick with whatever PlayStation or Sony puts out because their exclusives
Although if I do buy a
are
console,
good.
the next console I buy is gonna be a Switch, almost definitely.
Hell yeah.
Just
I mean,
because
Yeah, I want to get a Switch.
I want to buy. Well, I want to get the new Smash.
I think I'm gonna wait till like Black Friday.
Also, I want to get
To
like.
get a
I think
Switch.
they're coming out with a new Switch.
Are they?
Yeah, it's gonna be out in 2019. They've announced
Well,
it.
fuck.
They haven't said any details of exactly what. People are thinking it's sort of like the DS and the DS XL. It's
It's
gonna be
like
their
an
Switch.
improved version of it. Kind of like they're doing with consoles, like releasing like a slightly upgraded version of the existing console.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there are so many good Switch games that I want to play that are already out. Like I want to play Odyssey, well, Super Mario Odyssey,
Good.
Breath of the Wild.
Super good.
It's going to be releasing Smash and the new Metroid game, and I'm sure the
Metroid.
new Pokemon out next year.
I
Yeah,
love
Pokemon.
I love all of the memes that are coming out about Super Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the fact that Kirby is going to be like. I'm not sure if you saw the story mode.
Super
cinematic.
Smash Bros. Is now a Kirby game.
Yeah, literally everybody dies except for Kirby, and Kirby's gonna save everybody.
It's up
It's
to
great. Yeah.
Well, should we end this?
Yeah,
Since
yeah, I
we're no
think so.
longer talking-
Yeah.
I would like I would really like to do like another kind of general discussion. Like maybe not even talking about the games that we've been playing, just like talk about games in general or just shoot the shit or whatever. But
Okay.
also I really want to I know we're probably never going to like do this game for like an actual episode, but I want to talk about Dark Souls.
Dark Souls.
I just want to talk about that
yeah.
game with some people.
I'll be down for it after our next discussion.
Yeah, definitely.
'Cause maybe that'll actually get some people to join.
Yeah, I would probably message Josh about it. And yeah, I've just been reading a bunch of Dark Souls lore recently.
Yeah.
And
That'll probably be a long.
oh yeah, I could talk about that for hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, I
'Cause
can
there's-
talk to yeah.
Set
None
that
of
up
it
for
would be
a
about
Sunday-
Dark Souls 2.
We'll set up for a Sunday night that everybody's doing nothing.
Yeah, it'll.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can take us offline for now. Yeah, Dead Cells is a good game. Yeah, I'm gonna be putting some footage in. So if it looks like your kind of game, I would definitely recommend getting it.